Good evening, Mananga. We welcome you to all to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2022. Commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence and UN Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute and Center for Art, Sciences and Well-being. So before we start our session, let's take the blessings from Almighty.
कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue to today's session. Today, the topic would be self-care and selfishness. By myself, Sri Dr. Ravindra RM. When we are talking about self-care and selfishness, self-care is very important aspect of ourself, our health and our well-being. So let's see different aspects of self-care and also the selfishness. We can make this more interactive. So let's everyone share our own understanding about what is self-care. You can unmute yourself and you can share. What do you think it is self-care? Self-care means Yeah, sorry for sorry, technical issue. Yeah, you can unmute yourself and speak.
May I?
So we got a message from Fiona. Self-care means taking care of yourself so that you can be healthy, you can be well, you can do your job, you can help and care for others, and you can do all the things you need and want to accomplish in a day. It means taking care of my physical, nutritional, emotional, spiritual needs as a whole and find time to relax, have enough sleep on a daily basis, take care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, eating balanced meals, taking enough rest, doing things that calm you and make you happy. Yeah, very well said, Fiona.
So,
Yes, taking care of ourselves is very important for our well-being. First, we need to take care of ourselves. We need to be healthy, and also we need to be wealthy. Wealthy, healthy in respect of all terms. Then only we will be able to help or take care of others. In the very first place, when we ourselves are not healthy, will we be able to help others? We might not be in a position to help ourselves and also others. That's why we need to be healthy and we need to take care of ourselves in the very first place. Okay. So, how do we take care? And what goes all in taking care of ourselves? As already said by Fiona, and also taking care, self-care. What is self-care? The act of taking care of our mental, physical, social, emotional, financial, economical, and well-being of an individual. So, why it is important, and what are the benefits of self-care? It can help reduce stress and enhance quality of our life. And research shows that in addition to keeping you healthy, self-care can also improve your overall well-being. And it helps you manage the daily stresses in your life, like various academic pressures, financial pressures, relationship pressures, and various other stresses, and also uncertainties of life as well as future. So stresses can be for everyone at all walks of life, at all ages of life. For example, for a student, school going student, there may be classwork pressure, there may be homework pressure, or there may be some activities pressure. So these can be equally existing, exciting, as well as stressful also. So how do we manage with these things? I mean, everyone at each stage of life, at every walks of life, we have different kinds of stresses, and some stresses may be quite common across the different ages or across the lifespan. Some may be different. So, how we are going to manage this and overcome and bounce back to normalcy while practicing the self care depends on the quality of life. Simple activities with simple routines, we can very much successfully overcome these stresses. So Self-care is not an occasional thing, but it should be a daily routine. It's a way of living each day that incorporates behaviors that helps us feel refreshed, re-energized, and rested. Everyone deals with these challenges differently, and everyone's preference for practicing self-care is different as well, as per their needs, wants, desires, and requirements. So, as we have seen, the importance of self-care to overcome stressful life, what we do often, what are the, we need to understand what are different stresses of our life. When we look at different stresses of life and how they are impacting us and why they are impacting us, by having this holistic understanding of the causes and how we can prevent and how we can manage them through different strategies and to overcome and effectively managing them so that they do not reoccur, helps us to keep us good well-being. We all have stresses in our life. It may be small or big or short or long, in all the ways. In all walks of life. It's not only just managing stress, but also taking good care of ourselves. Taking good care of ourselves. Often setting priorities, setting goals, and working, making priority of ourselves in the very first place. Often, what we do, we self sacrifice ourselves for others' needs, wants, desires, to fulfill others' wishes. That's fine. I mean, uh, because we do it for sake of our family, for sake of our organizations, for sake of our society, for sake of community. That's a positive thing that we need to be more compassionate, empathetic to the environment around us, environment within us, so that uh, at times or most of the times, depending on the personality of the individual and depending on compassionate practice by the individual, it may vary. Individual may put others ahead of oneself, and more priority is given to others rather than one's own self. So this causes often poor self-care. So this will leads to stress, fatigue, burnout, dissatisfaction, a continuous feeling of disappointment that may or can lead to depression or various other diseases or disorders. To avoid that, what we can have is to manage our roles effectively while caring for others. When we want to help others, we need support services or supporting systems which also caters to our needs along with the needs of others. Suppose when we are taking care of others, especially when we talk about caregivers, they are continuously stressed and burnout by providing care to the needy. So when doing so, they often have to put themselves below others so that they can sacrifice their time, their efforts for the betterment of the individual of the need. So this we can see, and especially caregivers are in lot of stress and burden and feel fatigue also. So But at the same time, the amount of satisfaction, the gain is enormous and is invaluable. So it also depends on the intent and the purpose and the ultimate goal you are going to get. It may be monetary, it may not be monetary. See, not always we gain satisfaction or our goals are not always financial goals. They are social goals, they are economical goals, or they are personal goals, or they are emotional goals. So we do certain things for fulfilling our different wants, desires, wishes, and our dreams also. So these activities which we take up, especially for ourselves or for the betterment of others, can be done very well, similar to in other contexts as we were doing so earlier, but with a proper self-care of ourselves, which will yield better results. Self-care is a tool, can be a tool, can be an instrument, can be a strategy, can be a method. We need to keep ourselves well-tuned, well-being, so that we can help others in an effective way. And we need to be proactive when addressing the stresses of our work and also ability to achieve work-life balance. Here, work can be anything. Work in the sense of pursuing a passion, pursuing an interest, pursuing an hobby, or pursuing an employment, or pursuing an education for that matter, anything. So when we are able to effectively work and also achieve ability to achieve work-life balance, then we can achieve the overall well-being. Now, what can be done or what could be different symptoms when we can say that we are not taking proper care of ourselves? There may be different symptoms like feeling low or feeling unwanted or feeling stressed too much, feeling burnout or preoccupied with various other events or distressing events or unwanted events or loss of purpose in life or loss of purpose in or meaning in work, mental fatigue, physical fatigue, increase in physical illness and feeling sick, feeling low, and feeling avoided, feeling overburdened with work, isolation, and withdrawal from others, poor coping strategies, and more of negative feelings, or engaging in drug abuse like alcohol, or different kinds of or engaging in eating disorders like binge eating or purge, different kinds of symptoms like even lack of concentration, lack of attention, unable to concentrate or be attentive can be symptoms. But these, whoever is having all these symptoms or one or more of these symptoms cannot be said as they do not have proper self-care. But these can be symptoms which can contribute or which can lead or which can give us a sign of lack of proper self-care. Now, what can be causes of these problems or symptoms? Excessive workload, little control or autonomy in role, failure to maintain boundaries with oneself and others, and perfectionism, and poor self-care. See, we sometimes saying no is also very important. Often in the hesitation to say no, we tend to say yes. That can all often lead to overload or overworkload or excessive workload. So this otherwise, which could have been avoided, that can lead to more stress and more workload. And we can also deliberate work. Often, sometimes, some individuals feel that everything has to be done by themselves only. So they will keep on taking load and everything they will be doing by themselves. Instead of that, we can delegate some part of work or some amount of work to the subordinates or to the colleagues or to the uh, people around us who are willing to help us. So in that way, we can reduce the excessive work and also have autonomy or control of your role or the functions you perform. Often when you do something for yourself, you have control of what you are doing. But when we are doing for others or something else, someone else, we do not have control, much control, because they want some action or work to be done, and until that work is performed or achieved, so we need to continuously work on that, and there might not be much control over it. And also failure to maintain boundaries with others. Often we need to have boundaries, times of work or fun, or it may be anything. We need to have certain boundaries. That boundaries can differ from person to person, relationship to relationship, and the kind of understanding we have uh, among each other or others. So this will help uh, to understand or to raise boundaries, that we need to be in the safe zone, that we can take care of ourselves. Otherwise, we'll be overstressing ourselves. And these all can lead to poor self-care by neglecting ourselves or overburdening ourselves with work, stress, and at times we will lose ourselves in the process of meeting others' demands or others' targets or other goals. What happens? Okay, that's a good thing. So sacrificing and contributing to others, but what happens at the end of the day? All these symptoms like feeling low, you maybe at the personal level, that at a society level, that may be good, but at a personal level, when you see yourself, what you have achieved, or what you have personally, what are your personal goals, or what is your personal contribution or achievement, you may feel low because you will be helping others, but you may not be helping yourself. Some And the other thing is, often we have expectations, and that expectations may not be always met by others, by the kind of expectations with which you take up some task may not be at the same level or at the same intensity or at the same amount, may not be reflected by the others or community or society. This can also sometimes leads to fatigue or burnout. So what we can do? How do we practice self-care? First thing, maintaining our health and hygiene. Drink water, sufficient water for the day, and eat good balanced diet, and have good sleep and rest in between, or else small power naps whenever required, and being physically active, mentally active, socially active, and planning ahead and creating a routine. So plan yourself what all you need to do for the day in advance, make a schedule, make a routine, and according to routine, follow that. And if required, do not hesitate to ask for help and do not hesitate to delegate the routines. This will help us to reduce our workload and also to reduce the stress, and practice some relaxation techniques or calming techniques. Practice deep breathing techniques, meditation, yoga, or exercise, or any pursue any passion or interest that gives you immense pleasure of doing that, or immense satisfaction, or immense happiness. Take those works. This may differ from person to person, and this can also help us to improve our well-being and also reduce the amount of stress. Yes, ma'am. Do you have any query? Okay, if you have any queries, you can put in chat box. Otherwise, at the end of the session, you can share your views. Okay. So, as we have discussed, but sarcastically we say, uh, what you are doing means just eating and sleeping. Yes, but that is very important because that's part of the physiological process. If we don't eat well, if we don't sleep well, lot of things get affected. Our personal health will get affected. So adequate amount of nutrition is very much essential for keeping us fit and healthy, and also adequate sleep helps us to body to recover from the stress, mechanical stress, physical stress, and also to keep the body and mind fit for the next day. So adequate food and nutrition and also rest, sleep is very important. No matter what you do or what you don't do, but we need to have a proper hygiene, a proper schedule of our what we eat and how do we sleep. So having an effective schedule will help us in taking proper care of ourselves. Now, uh, how do you stay yourself active? As we have discussed, be engaging ourselves in physical activities, work out on a regular basis for physical health. It may be small exercises starting from some stretching exercises on the chair, on the desk, on the bed to power workouts. But be cautious when you are doing power workouts. It may not suit for everyone. That's basically for athletes or who are really looking for some rigorous goals to be achieved. So nowadays we see even normal day to day, which is not essentially required. They are going for power workouts, and we have seen even recently few celebrities also got heart attack and cardiac problem in the gym. They died in the gym or on the way to gym or on the back. That is not essential required unless and until you have certain goals to be achieved in terms of some sports or games. That kind of rigorous workout is not at all required for a normal person. So you should be very cautious with simple exercises, yogas, asanas, exercises, stretching exercises, or walking, jogging, simple work, running. These things can help you a lot. Otherwise, switch on if you are not able to do that. Switch on from automatic, from gadgets like washing machines. You spend some time washing your clothes or cleaning your, instead of using vacuum cleaner or some other automatic this thing, you can just have some mop or do it. These kind of things also can break from the routine and also enjoy, like take up gardening and do some cleaning and pruning of plants or trees as required, so that will uh, burn your excess calories or help you maintain energy requirements, excess energy routine. That will also bring the satisfaction and also keep your ambience and environment positive, productive, and also more pleasing. The most important thing is prepare a schedule. Set your priorities. What is required, what to be done first, what to be done next, and whether it is really required and what kind of resources it is taking. It may be time is very important. We often think that okay, time doesn't have value, but time is everything. You know, every second we spend should be productive and a very uh, a good thought has to be given before we take up something. See, money you can earn at any point of stage. That is okay. But time 1 second gone will never come back. So be wise in investing your time. Time is money. So wherever you are investing, whenever you are investing your time, make sure you are making good use of your time. Either you should invest your time in learning, like attending sessions or attending classes or attending training sessions or webinars, conference that gives you a lot of insights which are related to your interest or maybe your career or maybe your profession, or spend with your family. Uh, that is also very important, and productively engage in your work. So all these aspects. So time is money. Remember always. So when we are giving time to someone or ourselves, it is we are giving the most valuable gift that ever can give. So time is very important. So productively utilize your time, make a routine, make a schedule and follow as per the schedule. Time management is very important. You know, those the most achievers schedule their time and set priorities. Of course, we all have the same 24 hours, but often what we do is most of the time we do unwanted work which can be easily delegated to others or which can be avoided or which is not required. So these will eat up our time, money, and resources, which could have been utilized for a better task or better activity or a better goal. So think on those lines also when you before planning or before scheduling itself or at the time of scheduling itself, set your priorities. When I am doing this work, what is that I am going to gain? What is that I am going to contribute to the society? What is that I am contributing to the community or the nation at large or to the planet at large? If you are doing some productive work, positive work, constructive work, and it is benefiting either you or the community or the society at large, then we can achieve the goal, set objectives. Then, as we have seen, if you are stressed, then what can be done? As we see, you can practice relaxation techniques and also explore your environment around or your family members or various events or celebrations. You can join them and you can freak out at the nearest place, or you can volunteer. Volunteering is the best option if you really want to contribute to yourself and also to the community. So take up some volunteering work in your neighborhood or in organizations who are doing some social work or spiritual work or religious work. That doesn't matter as long as you are contributing to yourself and to the community. So anything you can help someone in your neighborhood, or you can help wherever there is a volunteering opportunity. Come forward, take the opportunity and contribute to the cause, and explore different opportunities available. Maybe you can discuss with your superiors, your juniors, your professors, your mentors who can help you, who can guide you, can counsel you in different ways of taking self-care and well-being. So this in brief, not taking much time, I would say self-care is thus very important for all of us. And when coming to selfishness, what is selfishness? Is self-care versus selfishness, if you can say in such way. Self-care is about taking care of our own feelings, our own requirements, our own needs. But selfishness is having a me, only me, or I, only I mentality, in which the person consistently only thinks of their own needs and wants and care a little or none for others or their needs. Where self care can be fulfilling or achieving your own potentials, along with discovering your purpose and experiencing joy of yourselves and as well as the community. While self-care allows one to be open and share with others, selfishness often leads to isolation or loneliness or detrimental to others. So next time you find yourself asking, is self-care selfish? Remember, self-care benefits you and everyone in your life because you can contribute. When you are in a better position, when you are practicing a win-win situation, it always benefits yourself and also others. And love yourself first, and everything else falls in line. You really have to love yourself, care yourself to get anything done in this world. Self-care is done with intention for caring of yourself and not with an intention to harm or take anything from others. But being selfish means there's a desire or there is an intent to take from others, often to their detriment. Self-care is about replenishing your resources without depleting someone else. Self-care is means of restoring your own energy, which promotes healthy physical and emotional well-being. Doing this for yourself, you are also modeling health behavior for others. Being in touch with our own emotional state and embracing our feelings is one of the healthiest things we can do for ourselves and else. And self-care, as we have discussed, builds our strengths, competencies, skills, and setting boundaries is very important so that we don't expend or we don't use all our personal energy taking care of everyone, but leaving ourselves. When constantly focusing on others, resentment often builds. We might find the small things you once loved doing now feeling like an overwhelming burden. No one explicitly asks for their needs to be prioritized, so which can lead to feeling and unappreciated with efforts unnoticed can also add to this. This is when it is important to remember that you must give yourself permission. You need to give yourself priority to take time for you. So once you become comfortable in making yourself a priority, you will notice an increase in your security, in your feelings, in your actions. It reinforces that you can take care of yourself and in doing so also take care of others. So self-care promotes a sense of well-being that follows making yourself a priority. And remember always, self-care is never a selfish act. It is simply good stewardship of only gift you can give yourself, that you can give yourself to the earth to offer to others. So in a similar way, taking care of yourself reinforces to your conscious mind that you are worthy. You are worthy of unconditional love. And it's so easy to get caught up in the accomplishments and to-do list and lose sight of the real purpose of life as a human, to live fully, to love, to enjoy, and to experience pleasure. But take care of yourselves. When you begin to learn to love yourself, take care of yourself, of who you truly are, you are more likely to accept who you are as a person with all the faults and all, which will help build your self confidence and a happier, healthier relationship with yourself and also others. So, taking care of yourself increases confidence because you are sending the conscious message to the world that you are something to be cherished and you are something to be cared for. So, self care helps you to care for others while we often empty our energy to help others or our resources to help others before taking care of ourselves. Doing so will quickly lead to emotional and physical exhaustion, even at times financial exhaustion. Caring for yourself and making sure you are healthy, happy also allows you to be more present and giving it to others. So the saying you cannot pour from an empty cup is absolutely true. We must take care of ourselves in order to be able to take care of others. It creates healthy boundaries in your life. So self-care regulates negative emotions. It makes you more equipped to handle stress. It helps strengthening your immunity system and it also helps you to promote your well-being. So with this, we will end the session for the day. And if you have any queries, feel free to share your observations. You can unmute yourself or share, you can put in your chat box. So dear participants, if you have no queries, then see, why does a person become selfish? There are various reasons because and it depends from person to person, it varies from person to person. Like maybe a person thinks he wants to be better than others, or he want to possess more qualities or more skills or more wealth than others in a negative way. I mean, the perspective matters. If see, if we take care of well-being of all, that what COVID has started. No, when we unless the last person is safe, no one was safe. So that is the kind of perspective we need to go. That yes, take first set yourself as priority, and you work on those things and achieve them. But as we have discussed, selfish is something like which you are taking away, which are intended for others, which are detrimental to others' development. So that is due to jealousy or due to rivalry or there are various factors. I mean, it should be discussed in a more case to case basis. So when we are more concerned, when we are, that's why more compassionate, when we care for ourselves, we also care for others also, because that will reflect upon ourselves as well as others as well. So when we are more compassionate, when we love ourselves, we understand the value of our time and resources. So similarly, we will also appreciate the value of time and resources of others as well. So we will have a win-win situation and we respect each other. Otherwise, if we think that we are worthless or we are only worthless, there is a difference. When we think that we are only worthy and others are worthless, then a similar kind of abuse or exploitation can take place. Or if we think we are useless and others are worthy, then in that case also this thing can happen. So there are various factors that can contribute. So having the right kind of thought process is very much essential. So maybe having thinking that okay, when other person possess the same kind of skills, attitude, or the kind of resources, maybe the competitive, it might be more competitive or equally competitive, but it should not deter one's development or growth in any aspect. So when we think that we all are equal, we all are equal human beings, we all have equal opportunities to grow, learn, and all this. Definitely, there shouldn't be any thing. Why we are becoming more mean, selfish is we don't want to care about others. That is what other people also see. This is what world is becoming bad day by day. People are becoming bad day by day because everyone wants to take care of themselves, everyone wants to be selfish. So they don't want to care about the planet. They don't want to care about animals, flora, fauna, plants, trees. Because of that, today we are facing climate change. We are facing droughts. No one is left untouched with this climate change. So this is what happens, slowly, slowly will add, everyone become selfish and nature will be exploited, resources will be exploited, opportunities is lost, freedom is curtailed, a lot of things happen, and and it will take some time for the effects like today what we all are facing, and the moment we realize it's too late. That's why it is more important to be more compassionate, more caring, not only to ourselves, but also to society, setting priorities, setting boundaries of what we do, how much we do, and for what we are doing. All this will help us to decide and have a better perspective of or better understanding. So hope that answers. So anyone else have any queries you can share? Feel free to share feedback at least for last 5-10 minutes so that we know if you have any queries. If you don't have, at least you can put thank you or something like that. At least one response from everyone that you are at least active in this meeting. Okay, thank you everyone for joining us. Hope you had good insights, and see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow we have international conference. We'll be starting at 11 o'clock. So kindly join us. We have a good number of speakers for the day lined up. And tomorrow's theme is World Population Day. So we'll be having good sessions on population and related aspects. If you would like to present, feel free to contact us, and see you all tomorrow. Kindly find the feedback link in the chat box. Quickly fill up the feedback form. It is mandatory for the certificate, and your certificates can be downloaded from the webinar series website within 15 working days. So see you all. Take care. Good night. The link for all the sessions, all the events will be same. Like now you join all the days, all the events, most of the events, I mean, the link is same. You can save the link and you can join it tomorrow by sharp 11 o'clock. And for registration links and all, you can visit website, or let me check if I can share it now for tomorrow's registration form. Just give me some time. While you are filling the feedback form, let me share you tomorrow's conference registration form. Link is same. You can visit website also, our website, from where you can download, if you can find your, I mean, registration forms. Once you register in the registration form, I have shared the registration form for tomorrow's conference. You can visit website also, where you can find all the upcoming events and past events, and from where you can download your certificates. So see you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night. Feedback link has been shared in the chat box, and kindly join Facebook group, Telegram channel where you will be getting all the updates. We have shared the website also from where you can get all the updates and download your certificates. See you all tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Take care. Good night.